Assalamu alaikum viewers. I am really happy to be with you today and I hope you are all doing well. I am Aqeel Hussain and today I want to talk about a TED talk that really made me stop and think about the way we educate our children. Let us start with a simple question. When you were a child, what did you love doing the most? Maybe you loved drawing, singing, telling stories, playing, building things, asking questions, or simply imagining new ideas. But as we grow up, how many of us are still encouraged to follow those interests? This is exactly the question that Ken Robinson explores in his famous TED Talk. Do schools kill creativity? So let us take a close look at this talk and ideas of Robinson and see what lessons this talk can offer us about education, creativity, and the future of our children. So, Sir Ken Robinson was a British educator, author, speaker, and he became internationally recognized for his work on the creativity, education, and human potential. He advised government and educational organizations and wrote influential books, including The Element, How Finding Your Passions Changes Everything, and Out of Our Minds Learning to Be Creative. His TED Talk became one of the most widely viewed TED Talk and continues to influence discussion about education and creativity. So, the main ideas of the talk. Robinson begins with the unpredictability of the future. We did not know what the world will look like in the coming decades. So, how can we be sure that today's education system is preparing children for tomorrow? He believes that all the children have extraordinary talent, but the traditional education system does not always give them the opportunity to discover those talents. Children naturally have a strong capacity for innovation and creativity. But this creativity can be discouraged when they are taught to fear mistakes. One of his strongest messages is that creativity is as important as literacy. Children should be encouraged to experiment, take risks, and make mistakes because being wrong is an important part of being creative. So, according to the Robinson, there are certain problems in the education system. Robinson argues that education system around the world often educate people out of their creative abilities. There is always a common hierarchy in the education. Science and mathematics are usually given the highest importance, while the arts, humanities, music, and other creative subjects are often placed at the lower level. So he explains that the modern education system was largely developed to meet the needs of industrialism, preparing people for particular types of employment. But the world has changed. Today, technology, innovation, and artificial intelligence, they are transforming the workplace. Therefore, the education must also change. He also talks about the pressure of university entrance and the employment. Students are often discouraged from choosing their favorite subjects because they are told you would not get a job in that field. As a result, many young people leave behind their passions and natural talents simply because they are considered impractical. So, according to Robinson, there are three characteristics of the intelligence, or intelligence has three important ways. First, intelligence is diverse. The people think and learn in the different ways. Second, intelligence is dynamic. Our abilities can develop and they can change. The third, intelligence is distinct. Every person has a unique combination of talent and abilities. Therefore, there should not be only one definition of intelligence or one path to the success. So, hope for the future. Robinson does not simply criticize education, but also offers hope for the future. He calls for a new concept of human ecology, one that recognizes the richness and diversity of the human capacity. So instead of forcing every student into the same system, education should also help people discover their talents, interests, and passions. His book, The Element, also explores how people discover their natural talents and activities where they feel truly fulfilled. So, in my opinion, this TED Talk is highly relevant to the education today. Education should not focus only on experiments, examinations, grades, academic achievements, etc. It should also develop creativity, critical thinking, curiosity, problem solving, and innovation. I also believe that science and mathematics are also extremely important. The answer is not to reduce their importance, but to create a balanced education system where science, technology, arts, humanities, and creativity they can develop together. So this message is particularly relevant today because artificial intelligence is changing education and the world of work. In such a future, human creativity, imagination, critical thinking, and innovation may become even more and more valuable. So King Robinson's message is that traditional education system can sometimes limit the creativity that children naturally possess. So education should not only prepare students to pass exams, enter universities or get jobs. It should prepare them to think, create, innovate, solve problems, and shape the future. And perhaps the most important lesson from this TED Talk is we should not educate children only for the world that exists today. We should help them develop the creativity to shape the world of tomorrow. Thank you very much for being with me today. I hope this TED Talk review encourages all of us to look at education a little differently and most importantly to recognize and support the amazing potential within every child. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.